Hey everyone, welcome. If you're thinking about a career in law, you've probably run into this alphabet soup of degrees. Today, we're going to clear up all the confusion around the JD, the LLB, and the LLM, and help you figure out the absolute best path for a global legal career. So let's jump right in. Right? You see these letters everywhere. JD, LOB, LLM. What is the deal? It's so easy to get overwhelmed, but don't you worry. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly what each one means and, more importantly, which one is the right fit for you and your ambitions. So to help us get our bearings, let's use this law degree ladder as our roadmap. This kind of shows you the whole journey, the typical way you'd move from high school up through these different qualifications that we're about to break down. First up, let's dive into the main law degree in the United States, the Juris Doctor, or as everyone calls it, the JD. I mean, if practicing law in the US is your goal, this is the one you absolutely have to know about. Okay. So the most important thing to get about the JD is that it's a graduate level degree. This means you can't just jump into law school from high school. Nope. You need to finish a 4-year bachelor's degree first, and it can be in pretty much anything. And yeah, this lays out the whole timeline perfectly. You start with that 4-year undergrad degree, then it's 3 pretty intense years for your JD, and even after all that, you're not done. You've still got to pass a state-specific bar exam to officially become a licensed lawyer. All in all, you're looking at a 7-year journey after high school. It's a real commitment. And this is one of my favorite things about the US system. Law schools actually want people from all sorts of different academic backgrounds. Whether you studied history, economics, or even engineering, they see your unique perspective as a huge plus for the legal field. Okay, so let's switch gears and head across the pond and really around the rest of the world to talk about the global model, the LLB, or the Bachelor of Laws. This is the go-to first law degree in a ton of other countries that use the common law system, like the UK, Australia, and India. And here is the big difference. The LLB is an undergraduate degree. That's the key distinction. That means in places like the United Kingdom or Australia or India, you can apply to an LLB program straight out of high school. So let's break down the LLB real quick. You can start right after high school. The program takes about 3 or 4 years, and it's super focused on the laws of that specific country. Its main purpose is to get you ready for a legal career right there at home. All right, we've got the basics down for both. Now for the fun part. Let's put them head to head. This is where the differences really pop, and you can start to see which path really lines up with what you want to do. If you boil it all down, it's pretty simple. Think of the JD as a specialized second degree for the super complex American legal system. And the LOB, that's your foundational first degree designed for one specific country. Yeah, this table just lays it all out so clearly. Just look at the entry requirements, right? Post-grad for the JD, high school for the LLB. Huge difference. The time you spend in the program is kind of similar, but when you start is completely different. And you can see the focus is different too. The JD has to cover both federal and state law, while the LLB is laser-focused on one country's system. Okay, but what happens if you want to go global? What if you want your degree to travel with you? This is where things get super interesting and, honestly, really important for your career choices. So here is the deal. A US JD is actually getting more and more recognition all over the world. A JD grad can often go and take the local bar exams in another country to get licensed there. Now, the LLB, that's like a passport within Commonwealth countries, but trying to bring it to the US, that usually takes an extra step. And that extra step, well, that's where the LLM comes in. I like to think of the Master of Laws as the ultimate bridge between legal worlds. It's a 1-year program that lets lawyers with an LLB from somewhere else come and study U.S. law. It's the tried and true path that, in many cases, makes them eligible to take a U.S. bar exam. So listen up. If you have an LLB and you're dreaming of a career in the States, this is for you. The LLM is your golden ticket. It is literally the established pathway to get your foreign degree recognized so you can take a shot at passing the bar in a place like New York or California. So what kind of jobs are we talking about here? With a JD, you're set up to be a licensed U.S. attorney, sure, but also to work in-house at a big company, get into policy, or even become a professor. An LLB is your straight shot to practicing law in your home country. But if you add that LLM we just talked about, suddenly doors to international law and diplomacy can swing wide open. And get this is a really cool fact. The biggest law firms in the world, the truly global ones, they go out of their way to hire US JD grads for their offices in London, Hong Kong, or Tokyo.
Why? It's because that intense Socratic method style of training you get in a JD program, that's considered gold standard. Analytical thinking that works anywhere on the planet. Okay, wow, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's boil it all down to the key things you really need to remember when you're thinking about your own decision.
So, if you remember anything, remember this. The JD is tailor-made for US law, but it travels surprisingly well. The LLB is the bedrock law degree in a lot of other countries. And the LLM, that's your essential bridge if you want to cross over between those worlds. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one question. Where do you see yourself starting your career? So now that we've broken it all down, the ball is in your court. Your entire global legal career really does start with this one decision. You've got the map now. So, which path are you going to take?